He's a personal trainer, food critic, businessman, man of knowledge and wisdom, Ryan Bennett.
Yeah. If someone sees me eating 7,000 calories and they're like, I want to be that big. If you start eating 7,000 calories and you're not meant to have 7,000 calories, like you're just going to be a fat cunt. It won't take long either. 7,000 is a lot. I was still doing drugs at Tony Robbins. I was still doing coke in the bathroom. No one knew. My dad just thought I was really fucking excited. People stop at Macca's on their way home and then they come at me for being like, oh, you eat white bread? I'm like, bro, you had a double Big Mac yesterday. Fuck you. If you're a mad cunt, 10 sets of 10 with a 10-second rest using 10 kilos. I mean, it was in that set, like I was having the time of my life, but like, you know, it was just all fueled by drugs. So when it got to the point where like I was losing friends, like they were dying, or I nearly died multiple times.
G'day guys, myself, Chris and our team would like to welcome you to Season 2, Podcast 1, Muscle Talks, where we now talk to many bodybuilders, athletes about how they got there, what they do, and how they train. Our first guest off the rank, all the way from World Gym Moore Park, where you'll find him currently. He's a personal trainer, loves his food, eats a lot, also we see on the socials, food critic, businessman, Apex Coaching I'm going to mention, bodybuilder, man of knowledge and wisdom, and better known as the Aussie Brock Lesnar. Please welcome Ryan Bennett.
Yo.
How are you, mate?
Good. Very good. If my legs cramp up, it was a big session.
What was it? You said you trained with one crazy dude.
Yeah.
Who's the crazy dude?
Yeah. You know Disco Drew on socials?
No, but go
Drew?
on.
Why
do they call him Disco Drew first?
I don't know. I think he just likes a disco. So that's his name.
Yeah,
but,
go on, yeah.
Yeah, so I linked up with him. We trained, and he loves training legs, so we trained for like 3 hours.
Out of all your, I love quads. I don't know why. When I train quads, I'm happy. I don't know what it is. It's not like a release when I finish.
Yeah,
What do you like? You like legs?
I used to like arms, like every young, skinny, like, you know, you like arms because it's the first time you feel big, but probably like back.
You like back? Yeah, I always,
back, or I went through a leg phase. Yeah.
Quads. Hamstrings not the same, but quads. I don't know, something about quads makes me angry. I don't know. I feel like
you have to be angry to train quads.
You have to be angry.
Yeah.
Well, look, I looked at your socials. Very nice socials, man.
Thank you.
You should be very proud. Yeah. I love what you're doing. Everyone should be following you. We'll mention a lot of that at the end. But your post, I believe what I saw you posted this year around March. You said you hit rock bottom, and they thought you gave up. All right. Please explain to us in detail. What does that mean? What does that mean to you and for us to know?
I mean, the caption itself is probably meaningless. I was probably just trying to find a caption. You know, you got to post and you want to post it, but you don't know what to, you're like, what do I post?
Yeah.
What's the caption? So that, you hit rock bottom and they thought you gave up. I feel like I just gave up for a while. Well,
you look like...
the actual photo?
Yeah, tell us. Don't worry about the caption. The caption marries into the photo.
I mean,
but there you are holding a kid. I've got who's the kid, but we'll ask the kid in a second. But that guy there, I think, were you wearing a cap in that photo? You had a few...
backwards
You was kind of skinny.
Bag.
Yeah. Were you an ashtray then?
Hat.
Was that an ashtray?
Yeah, that was a full blown. That was pretty much at my worst. I think I went to rehab.
All right.
4 or 5 months after that for drug addiction, anxiety, depression. I think in that photo I would have been like light 60s at my height.
How old?
19 or maybe 18, 19. And I was like 60 kilos at 6'3". If you see that photo, I'm like, my arm is just bone.
I know. You look skinny, man.
Yeah. So that was like my build growing up. Tall. I was always tall, but super skinny.
Look, mental health is a very personal thing to me, and I've experienced something very similar very late in life.
Yeah.
So, but what was it like as a teenager when it's supposed to be the time of your life? What was going on?
I mean, it was in that set, like I was having the time of my life, but like, you know, it was just all fueled by drugs. So when it got to the point where like I was losing friends, like they were dying, or I nearly died multiple times, just weird coincidences, or like I'd try and overdose and I'd wake up the next day and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm still here. Like I tried that a few times, handful of pills, would wake up the next day. I was like, all right, shit, I guess there's more to this and I'm here for a reason. I felt some weird, I'm not super religious, but I felt at the time something's keeping me here.
What got you there, you think?
Where?
To that lost, reckless...
Like what got me using drugs?
Well, yeah, what got you to that dark place?
To that point of turning it around?
Before turning around. Let's go before turning around.
I don't know. I don't want to continuously throw my parents under the bus, but like I've said this in other podcasts before, including my own, but I was like dream childhood. It's weird that I ended up doing drugs. Like very wealthy family, like well off. But then when I was like 10 or 11 going into year 7, so already rocky time, puberty, going from like high school, my parents got a divorce and I went from being like wealthy and well off and not having a care in the world to my mum was starting to put things back. Like we'd go to Woolies, she'd go to pay for shit, card would get declined, she'd have to put it back. I didn't think it affected me at the time, but I think just literally, and I was thinking on the way here because I was leaving the gym and I was like, fuck, I hope I've got everything. And I was like, I've got everything. I lived out of a suitcase my whole life because like going from house to house, which is a good...
Was that with your mum?
Well, going from mum one week and dad the next, which it's the perfect way to do it if you're separated. But for a kid, like you're packing your shit up, you go into another town. I didn't have to change schools or anything. So yeah, like when I was in rehab and there was people that had it a lot worse than me, I was like, my parents just got divorced. But like, you know, trauma's trauma, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I
always feel bad about it.
Well, I'm from a broken marriage. I'm divorced too, but
yeah.
I don't know what it's like, but my kids are going through it. And I always make sure that I don't question people that went through it because I didn't. And that must be fucked to know that you're in that bed and then you're in that bed. As bad as it is for us parents not having our kids under the roof at one roof, but what I'm getting is you guys are like literally luggage. You're lugged around. Yeah. And I just think, I just don't know how my kids do it too. Like, thankfully, it's a bit different than what we did or what I do, what I think. But I was fortunate. I lived under one roof. Being a Greek, they didn't even want me to leave very later in life. I think they still wanted me to go home in my 40s and 50s. But
that's what you know,
but no, I won't go back home. But the thing is, it's that could do it. And obviously, it got you to that dark place. You're saying that you just mentioned not wake up the next day. You ended up in rehab. Was that did that wake you up when you were in rehab?
It wasn't, I just want to summarize, it wasn't just the divorce, but that kind of, then I was hanging out with the wrong people, doing the wrong things.
The divorce is part of it.
It was like one little thing that...
It depends what you were going to do with it, and what you did with it maybe was...
Yeah, and I just constantly lived in this like, my life could have been so different. I'd be like, I'd have this life, I'd work for my dad's company, like it would all be, but yeah, that was the turning point where I started to be like,
you got angry.
Yeah, so there was like anger and resentment, and then because of the like mum not being able to afford shit, I started selling weed, and then I started selling other stuff, and then like I had money, and then I was accepted. I was always bullied in like primary and then early high school, and then I was accepted by the people that used to bully me because I had money and drugs. So it was like, oh shit, let's hang out with him, let's hype him up, like he's the best, he's got money and drugs. And yeah, like they went from picking on me for having red hair and being skinny to sweet, and I was accepted. So I think that's the bigger thing. But yeah.
What turned it around?
What turned it around, so had a friend die, another friend was constantly like, we'd have to disappear for 3 days because the cops were looking for him and it was his last strike kind of thing and he'd be in jail. So we just, from Thursday to Monday, just bender. And then, so 1 week he'd be, and I was just like, this is insane. then my dad took me to Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, wow.
Yeah,
And that was
as
that
like
it?
a fucking Hail Mary. Like, he tried to drag me out of the house before and be like, you need to stop. And I was like, good luck.
Just looking at your face there, I could see good luck, all right? It reminds me of...
Yeah.
Who said there was a movie that goes good luck? Oh, Taken. The
Oh,
guy goes good luck. And you remember the guy. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it was
so
real one of those moments. He rocked up with his brother, like my uncle, and he was like, you need to come with us. Like, you're not doing this anymore. And I was like, no, I'm staying here.
Wow.
So
Tony Robbins, yeah?
Yeah, so Tony Robbins, I was still doing drugs at Tony Robbins. I was still doing coke in the bathroom. No one knew. My dad just thought I was really fucking excited. But we both went 3-4 day event, walked on fire the first night. I remember that, like, because have you ever gone?
No, I've heard
So
of
you walk across hot coals.
But I've seen him he came out for an hour at something I went to.
Yeah, oh, it's fucking insane. Like,
but just that hour,
anybody watching, get yourself to a Tony Robbins.
Yeah, just that hour blew me apart.
Yeah, so
I was
imagine
like
4
dancing.
days.
I don't think I touched the
it's
ground.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, am I touching the ground? It was.
Yeah. So first day you walk on coals, like I said, you spend the whole day like teaching yourself your mind can overcome whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, so when you walk across hot coals, you imagine you're walking across like cool moss, like green moss, and you don't look at it. So it's teaching yourself all these little tricks. Halfway through the first day, I threw my ciggies out. I'd been a smoker for a little while, and I was like, no, done with that. I think I was still doing coke. And then I went back to my mates, and I was like, we can all do this. And then, you know, obviously you are who you hang around, and I didn't change who I was hanging around. And I remember trying to, you know, bring them up to the level and buzz that I was on, but didn't really work. But that planted a seed. Mm-hmm. That planted a very good seed. And then the next year, I don't remember the exact order, but like I went to it myself and I was clean.
Wow.
But I think that would have been September. When a couple more months, I was like, no, this is bad. A mate died. I was meant to be in that car that he was in. He died, not me. Like, just weird things. And then, yeah, I think it was like January the next year or February the next year, I went to rehab on the Northern Beaches, South Pacific, 30 days. And that's like hardcore, like no phone, no coffee, unfortunately. No sugar, no drugs, obviously, no alcohol.
Does that mean I'm an addict because I'm on a coffee?
Someone today was saying, like, they were like,
Chris,
oh yeah, I haven't had coffee in 2 years. And I was like, that's fine, bro. I gave up coke and meth. Like, I'm good with the coffee. So
I can't. My side thing's coffee, man. I
get it. I get it.
Coffee's so sure. But wow, what a story, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like the podcast is about you, so I wish I could share, but maybe we'll talk a lot more. But you know, it's great, and you know, I if you see my personal socials, I don't do gurus and I don't do influencers. I think like I'm a person that looks at everyone's the contradiction in people because they say one thing and they do another. Yeah. I'm more about don't do as you say, do.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Be a doer, not a sayer.
Yeah, doer. But I got to say, Tony Robbins is quite consistent what he does, and there's even, like I said, even of late, he's doing some amazing stuff which has surprised me, which I'm not going to obviously talk about here. But anyway, he's blown me away, him and his wife, what they're doing at the moment. So anyway, good on you, Tony Robbins. I've only seen him in short moment down at the showground for 1 hour. I think he even did 2. I think they had him for an hour.
Yeah, he always goes over.
Goes longer.
He's like, how am I meant to summarize a 4-day event in an hour?
But the way he did it in 1 hour, I was like I said, I think I felt like I was some kind of, I could fly. He was just incredible. Yeah. Great guy.
So his whole thing is like belief systems, and like at that time, like I thought I was a piece of shit. I didn't think like I'd been on rock bottom. I didn't think I'd had a future. Like I thought I've always been like, I had my first job at 11. Like I've always been because I think the divorce like I thought it was money. I thought the issue was money. So in my head, it's always been like, make money. So even when I was doing drugs, like I was like, I'm going to be like the biggest drug seller ever. Like I was trying to be entrepreneurial. So like I had these dreams, but weird beliefs. So like that first year out of rehab, like I read like 32 books. Like
You like to read?
I did that year. Now I can't fucking.
I know.
It's hard now.
I never finished
listen
a
to
book.
audiobooks.
What's your favourite book?
Probably Tony Robbins' one. Awaken the Giant Within, because it's all about changing your belief systems. And I'm reading one at the moment from a psychologist, Dr. Julie. She used to be a psychologist. Now she's really big on TikTok and shit. And she's like, oh, well, I'll just write a book and sell it to millions of people.
A book that I like is, at the moment, which Chris got, is How to Win Friends, Influence People.
Yeah, I got the tattoo on my arm.
No, what, are you serious?
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
Yeah.
It's a quote.
Top book, huh?
Yeah. My dad bought me that book when I was 18.
Wow.
And I saw him the next time I had the tattoo, and he was like, I'm not buying you any more books.
Top book.
He doesn't like tattoos.
That actually, Rich Dad Poor Dad was the one that got me to jump on a plane and buy property in New Zealand for nothing. For nothing, no money, down.
Smart.
Because he said you can make money with nothing. I believed him. I've got to read the book again though. I forgot.
Got how to sell it. We've just got acres in New Zealand.
All right. Well, you've pretty much explained Ryan growing up. So I guess
I do want to say,
yes,
with the rock bottom thing, I thought when I saw rock bottom, I thought it was the analogy I gave. So when you hold a tennis ball and you like drop it, you know how it doesn't bounce back as high unless you throw it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like think like hitting rock bottom, you're never going to get to where you once were. And I was like, fuck, I was such a good kid. And then I was like, what if I pegged the tennis ball at the ground? And like I hit rock bottom, but it go high, like bounce up higher than it was.
I love that analogy. All right, that's even better that you've actually put power behind that fall to make sure you catapulted back up. So I like that. Who's the kid in the picture?
I think it's my cousin's son.
For a moment, I thought it was maybe your child.
Nah,
clean that up.
No. But that trip,
in case someone's chasing us for parenting money, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, but that trip was like I don't really remember it, but my mum was like, you were literally getting drugs in front of Nana. And I was like, fuck. Okay, sorry guys.
Wow.
So that was I was pretty.
All right, well, man, tell us, when did bodybuilding get your attention? Where did you start the journey around bodybuilding, health and fitness?
Way before drugs, which is weird.
Go on.
I was thinking about this earlier, like yesterday. So when I packed up my bag and went house to house, I'd take adjustable dumbbells with me.
Okay.
And like, I didn't understand nutrition, probably why I do nutrition now. I didn't understand it, and I wanted to build muscle, but I didn't want to put on any weight. I had a weird thing about weight. So I went through like bulimia, and all my training was super low weight, high reps, but I always, from like 13, 14, had literally a fucking bench press in my room. And when I woke up in the morning, I'd do an hour session, went to school, didn't eat because I was like, oh, I don't want to get fat. Came home, did another session, and then went for a 10-kilometer run. Or I think I just went for a 10-kilometer run, and then after dinner, I'd typically throw up dinner and then train again. Like I was not okay, but I guess it was a coping mechanism during the time.
And even while you were reckless in all your other things, you still had that training regime going on, or did you let that go
for a little bit? When I was like drinking in like year 7 and 8, I remember waking up hungover and still training, but then the more it took over, I just dropped it. But like I was meant to go to America for basketball. Yeah, and I fucked up the cartilage in my knee from overtraining and not eating.
Okay, so sports was in
it's always yeah.
All right, so when did the career in it bodybuilding, when did you, because you went from that skinny kid to looking like, what's his name again, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, what happened there? You went from that to that. What was that change? And then when did you and the progression into saying, I'm going to make this my career in some way?
So when I was before I went to rehab, I had a week or two at my dad's, and I thought like I'll detox a bit before I go, because I wanted it to change. So then I remember going to the gym, and like there was some crusty sessions, just like first time training, like 5 years of like drinking, smoking, using drugs. Like I just remember feeling so dirty. So started training, and then I was like getting a bit of momentum in that, starting to feel good. Went to rehab, and they were like, you can't exercise here. You can't do push-ups. You can't
How
do
old were you,
sit-ups."
just quickly?
19.
19, yep, no.
And I was like, why can't I do that? And they're like, because it's a form of escapism. We want you to be in your feelings. Like, this rehab was fucking intense.
Wow.
But I get it now. Like, sometimes you have a bad feeling and you have to just sit with it. You can't drink your way out of it. You can't drug your way out of it. You can't exercise your way. You just got to fucking sit with it.
Wow.
Which was a big thing, because I was like, as soon as I felt something through that stage, I'd use. So got out of rehab, and I remember when I was in there, and there was like psychotherapy sessions or like group therapy sessions where there'd be a drug addict, someone who has, someone who's an alcoholic, some lady that's got depression, some dude that's got a sex addiction, some dude that's a gambling addict. And I'm like, the fuck? But it's funny how much you learn. Like, we're all fucked up in our different ways, but it's all a root issue. So anyway, that was a weird experience. But in there, I remember being like, I want to help people get through this. I had so many people come up to me and be like, if you get this now, the world is literally at your fingertips. You're 19, you're not going to drink, you're not going to do drugs. Like, get this now. I'm 40 and my wife has left me. My kids don't want to know me, and I've lost a construction company. Like, so I was really set. I was like, fuck, all right, whatever. Sweet. So when I was in there, I was like, I want to help people physically and mentally.
Yep.
And I thought, I'll get my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. Like, I'll come out, I'll train, build up my body, because I think as a PT, you need to look a certain way.
I do. I think it's a good idea.
It's like taking financial advice off someone that's broke. You
Exactly. I don't want to talk about aerobics instructors either.
Yeah.
Don't look at part, but that's another story.
Yeah. So, this is a long-winded answer. But yeah, I wanted to Cert 3 and 4, become a PT, then start going down the route of psychology. And the big goal, and it even came up at World Gym when I was speaking to the owner, because a lot of World Gyms have, like, Ben wanted to put a barbershop in there, but there's just not enough room. But like the one at Chalora, for example, like, they've got a physio upstairs, they've got, like, you can lease out rooms. So it even became more of a reality when I started talking to Ben and seeing how well that works with World Gym. Because for me, I was like, I want to have a gym that downstairs is training, bodybuilding, boxing, whatever. And then upstairs, there's a psychologist. So that you can go there and you can train your body and your mindset.
Is there a psychologist there?
No. But I was talking to Ben about it, because I was like, I ran him through this idea that I had 8 years ago now of a gym that's also ingrained, like, therapy and counseling.
I've actually seen a psychologist.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be revealing this. I'll reveal it now. Anyway, 10 years.
Oh,
10 years.
But I feel like we all should.
No, but
100%.
when I talk about 10 years, we're talking about sometimes it can be once a week. Sometimes it was once a month. Sometimes I didn't do that year. Once every 6 months.
Yeah.
One thing I can tell you that I learned, and once my cousin's a doctor too, very famous doctor, by the way, but that's another story, in rugby league. But I told him, I said to him, he goes, how's it going? I said, this is very early in the piece, right? And I said to him, it's like a personal trainer for my brain. He goes, if only everyone looked at it like a personal trainer for your brain, because your brain gets lazy. It can't do push-ups anymore. It can't think straight. So when you're training your brain, just like training your body. So I do believe the great thing about, that's me personally, like I said, see your doctor, and there's a lot of things you can do with your doctor in relation to seeing psychologists. But a psychologist, to me, the great thing about it is it's not about prescription. It's more about talk. It's about understanding, guiding.
Yeah.
They ask a lot of questions, but they're very good. But actually, they make you lead. They
just ask the question.
They just ask the question, but they lead. So you can tell them anything you want. They're not going to question you, because they're just going to go with your lead. So whether you lie to them, you're lying to yourself. So they teach you how to not to lie to yourself and open up.
I was talking to someone at the gym today who's had some pretty heavy shit handed to him. And I was like, have you seen a psychologist about this? And they're like, yeah, but I wasn't going to tell them. And I was like, they got it out of you, didn't they? Yeah. Because they can fucking tell. Plus, you might not want to deal with it, but subconsciously you like, fucking help.
Well, look, I mean, we're on a big topic here. We'll keep going with it. But for me as well, the thing is, when someone comes up to me and tells me how they feel, I'll say to them,
Go
I'll talk.
fucking talk about
I
it.
say to them, I'll talk to you forever, but do you mind getting a psychologist?
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
But
trained.
some people
I'm not
see it
trained.
as such a negative thing, like, oh, I'm fucked up.
I send them
crazy.
straight
like,
in. I go.
Yeah.
I said you can talk to me as much as you like. I'm not trained, but I'd
Yeah.
like to know that you booked in, and usually it works a lot better. So
I was going to start a psychology degree this year.
good on you, man. Really? Wow. So
Degree or bachelor, whatever the fuck the first one is.
well,
But
like I said,
World Gym, the whole thing happened with World Gym, and I was like, I don't want to balance starting up at a gym and.
Look, there's always time, and like you said, I do. Like I said, I really, 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 really do believe that psychologists are personal trainers for your brain.
Yeah.
That's it. They exercise you. They tell you how to think, and actually, there's so much in it. There's so much in it that once you close that door, that's when you know everything's all right. Everyone thinks what they think outside that door before they walk in. But once you're in there, it's actually a great place because you get to sit. You sit on the couch like this and you have a chat.
Yeah.
So
it's
maybe
amazing.
we should do podcasts with
Finally
psychologists.
Get it all out.
What do we got here? Oh my god, let's.
So that's finishing up that story. Like,
Yeah,
I ended
bodybuilding.
up going online as an online coach.
Yep.
And that's what I've done for 5-6 years now. But I built out a whole like video series. Each week there's a certain amount of videos and things to complete and fill out and a workbook. And that's the Mindset Mastery course as well.
And
so
is that still there? What's it called? Might as well plug it.
So that's the Apex. That's Apex Performance.
Apex Performance.
Yeah.
And you can
So it's
find
the
that
12-week
online.
So my personal Instagram's Ryan Bennett Coaching.
Yep.
Otherwise, like the business page is Apex Performance Coaching or just Apex Coaching. I don't know.
That would have took a lot to put
It'll be on
put
my
it together.
bio.
So you're very entrepreneurial, business-like, and I think that was part of your dad and your family. And I guess that's
a
never
bit.
gone away.
Our family events are just business meetings, like because my dad, his business, he runs it with his brother, my uncle, and they bought that business off my grandpa, who cashed out at 50 with fuck tons of money, and so they brought it, and then it's a whole fucking story. So
No, I love it.
my grandpa's first question to me is, "Hey mate, how's business?" And I'm like, "Yeah, good, grandpa. How are you?"
Well, I guess it's funny how we segue into this one. What's your life like now regarding health and fitness? What's hard? What's easy?
Eating a lot of food.
And the disciplines required. So what's hard now? What's easy? And what are the disciplines required?
I don't know if anything's easy.
All right, so nothing's easy. That's good. I always say pick your heart.
I mean, it's like hard and easy, and it's like, so I always like, when I'm bulking, I'm on 7,000 calories.
Yeah, no,
which
I've got a question on that one.
Yeah. So like, that's 6 meals that are 1,200 calories each, roughly. If that math adds
So
up.
is the hard
That's a lot
preparing
of
meals?
fucking now I tie it into my content. So that's I made my content super easy to do. I'm like, every time I meal prep, I'll film some videos.
Well, I noticed on your post you did too much rice on one of them.
Yeah,
Rice
spilled
was-
that shit. Or like,
rice was all
I
over
know.
the place, man.
I always make too much rice. 5 years of I haven't even learned.
But so really there's not hard is good, what you're saying as well.
Yeah, so
Hard
this is what I was
good.
saying. I was having one of my 6 meals a day, and I was like, ugh, this fucking sucks. And my missus was like, stop doing it. And I was like, no. And she was like, exactly. So stop complaining. And I was like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I choose to do it.
Yeah.
I choose, so stop complaining.
Well, I mean, besides going to the gym, I used to go to the gym early in the morning, and that was hard. But I realized getting up at 9 o'clock was harder. So I thought I picked the hard.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, when you
hated.
feel
I felt like shit getting
Yeah.
up at 5, but I felt more like shit at 9 o'clock not going. So
Yeah.
it's always
like
hard.
cold
There's-
showers are shit.
Yeah,
But so is
everything's hard.
having anxiety. Or,
Look, there is life. My philosophy: hard and scary means you're living.
Yeah.
But just I always tell people, choose your hard. There's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Hard to do, hard not to do. Which one do you want to do? Pick one. Just pick one.
it's like the same. There's no growth. Or growth is on the other side of your comfort zone.
Well, that's right. But I'll tell you what. Even in the coffee game with me and Chris, there's never the perfect latte. So
No.
there's never ever a perfect latte.
Do you know what
made a latte?
Do you know what Balinese coffee is?
What? No.
Do you know what their process? The traditional Balinese coffee. So,
What?
motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
There's a big cat in Bali. There's some sort of big cat species. It really likes the coffee bean.
Yeah.
So it eats the coffee bean, shits it out, The Balinese people harvest the shit beans, and that's their coffee beans that they use.
Do you think it happened by accident? Someone was sitting at a table, dropped their beans, and
They
the
said-
fucking cat ate it.
They
Get the beans
some
back.
cunt just tried it, just like the guy that milked the first cow. Like, what are you doing that for? He just tried the shitty beans, and he was like, "They're pre-fermented. It's nice."
Have you ever watched?
And also, I'm not.
Have you heard of Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah,
When they
yeah,
had the marijuana, and they had Labrador because the dog ate the stash.
Yeah,
They waited for it.
yeah, yeah.
And it's making
is
this
a long
joint
time ago.
like a big piece of shit.
What's that Labrador?
It's
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh God, are we really talking training? You guys, we're doing a lot.
Oh yeah. So
No, that's all right. So you talk and post a lot on food and nutrition. Tell us more. Why?
everyone does the same shit with training.
Yep.
At World Gym, at any given time, there's 3 or 4 tripods set up. People filming their glute kickbacks or their bench press.
I've never seen so many tripods.
It's fucking ridiculous, right?
It's
Because
when I was there, I was going,
everybody wants to be the next fitness influencer. Everybody's filming one set of one exercise, chopping it up, making it a swipe workout or some little cool edit, doing it every day. No one gives a fuck. There's too much. There's too much of it. How are you going to stand out unless you actually
I've
stand
never seen
out?
it so much.
So even having a mic and do it, but that's becoming more overdone. But that at least takes confidence to fucking stand in a busy gym and be like, all right, cunts, let's also say cunts, that works.
We're going to talk about that one too.
Yeah. So I guess I just did a meal prep one and did a training one, did a meal prep. And at the end of the week, I was like, holy shit, the meal prep ones are actually taking off.
Well, I love them.
I doubled down on it. Every now and then I'll chuck a training one in there. It gets no views. So I'm like,
Well, I didn't know Twix was so good. Twix.
Yeah, calorie-wise.
Yeah, calorie-wise.
Not,
Yeah, no,
not
I know,
nutrition-wise.
I know.
Yeah.
Calorie-wise,
There's
the Twix.
macros and calories.
Chips and the chips as well, protein chips to these chips.
Those protein puffs were fucking disgusting.
They are. I wouldn't have touched them, but they're
Yeah, literally, like,
I think,
I've
I don't know,
had-
were they Red Rock Delis the ones you had, or they
Yeah,
kettles? I
some-
don't know.
yeah, kettle.
We're
Yeah.
giving some advertising it. Maybe they should.
I'm not saying they're good. They're just better than... It's just the healthy... So the biggest thing, like, people go down the healthy aisle and they're like, oh, I'll get these broccoli chips. There's probably more calories in the broccoli chips than there is normal chips.
Well,
You're paying $7 for it instead of $2, and it's not going to help with fat loss.
I know nothing about calories. True. I know
Yeah.
nothing about being Greek, nothing about calories.
No.
And I know nothing about macro. I know nothing. Every time you talk about calories, it's like over my head. But the only thing I like is I like mathematics. So every time
You
talk
need
about
me
math-
to do a video
Yeah.
explaining what a calorie is.
Yeah, 100. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about it here. I've got here, but you have to
It's a
do.
unit of measurement.
But you have to go like I want a chalkboard or a whiteboard, and you got to show me the maths. I need to see numbers.
Did you like the one I did with the cups and the? Did you see that one?
haven't
Like
seen
the
that
glasses, and the glasses represented the days in the week.
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
And it was like green liquid in the Monday to Friday glasses being like, so it was green, and it's like you're in your calorie deficit.
No, I've got to watch it.
But then Friday and Saturday are red, and they're a surplus, and over. Anyway, it's a good idea. Thanks for watching.
So obviously you felt that educating people on food, which was an important part. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But everyone else was having tripods doing exercise, and you thought, what was? You kind of thought to yourself, God, there's got to be something more I can give these people than just the exercise everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
In a sense?
One, I was becoming more busy, so I wanted content to be something I could easily do, or it wasn't like, fuck, I got to drive here. Because I was starting to do ones at night, or I'd go to Sydney Olympic Park and stand under a blue light and fucking say something and then chop it up and go over there and say the rest of it, like cutscene ones to keep attention up. Maybe an idea here. We start here, then go here, then go here.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen
'Cause
you
it keeps
hanging
your
upside- I've seen
attention,
you
right?
hanging upside down in World Gym.
Right. Yeah, so it keeps attention. Either the slow zoom in and then it cuts over here. Anyway.
Chris does this. I just
Yeah, so it helps hold retention because you're subconsciously like, where's this cunt going to pop up? You know? One day I'll just be behind you and just be like, boo.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So the
What was
food
the
bit.
fucking
No, the,
question?
the
So,
question
yeah,
is, why have you
I noticed
gone?
the food
Why
was
were you
working.
going with food?
People, like, it's people's biggest issue.
It is.
Everyone can train. Understanding the nutrition is huge. I had some chick come up to me at World Gym Chalora yesterday, and she was like, are you the guy on TikTok? And I was like, maybe, I don't know. Am I? And she was like, I've struggled with fat loss for 5 years. I watched your videos. It reset where I'm at. And
did
I've lost.
that just make you feel like I'm?
Oh my God. Yeah.
It'll come down now.
It's always the time when I'm like, fuck, these, like TikTok randomly halves your viewers. Like I'll be like 30K views, 40K views. And then the next video I do is like 1,200. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. So it's always at those moments where I'm like, fuck this. And then someone will be like, or send me a message like, hey man, I've lost 15 kilos just from watching your content. And I'm like, imagine coaching, huh?
I really
pay me, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I think
look,
I think you're on a winner. Personally, I think why can't?
It's how I talk. It's
that's right.
Obviously that I've given you my backstory. I grew up listening to rap, then Oz rap. They don't have. No one's doing Will Smith rap anymore. Like, so I'm a big Cursor fan.
Well,
so
that like word when I grew up, it was I thought it was that's like Jesus.
What's the word?
Yeah, that's the worst word in the world.
If you think about it, cunt is a vagina. How good are vaginas?
Oh, fantastic.
Pussy's amazing. You know what's worse? Piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I would rather be called a cunt than a piece of shit.
No,
fucking piece of shit is so offensive.
That does take me.
If someone called me a piece of shit, I'd be like, oh, bruh. Like,
so you're saying if someone calls you an asshole, you're really upset?
Nah, because assholes are right too.
Come on, brother. I don't know about that. Well, let's not get into that part. But then again, I'm Greek. And we were there hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
But having, what was it?
It worked. Like last year, I tried a professional route. So my old business name was fucking massive. Facebook randomly one day after 4 years of running ads were just like, sorry, we updated our terms. You violated our terms. Like, who reads the fucking term updates? Oh, okay. So something was happening and I messaged someone after the message time period from your business account. Got banned, like they shut down the whole business from being able to run ads. I was like, the fuck? So I pivoted, started Apex Performance Coaching, which is a bit more upmarket than fucking massive. Started doing like more focus on peak performance and mindset. So taking their training, taking their nutrition, but also taking their daily habits to another level and teaching them success habits that I've sort of learned over the last, since I got clean, through my coaches and mentors and all that. And I hated it. I hated the content. I didn't hate the coaching part because I fucking love that. Being able to tweak someone I had a client that he was making 700K a week. He wanted to make $1 million. At the end of the program, he was making $1 million. Like just by tweaking little things in his day to make him this much better so that his business is this much better. Because if you do better, your business is going to be, your relationship, your business, everything's going to be better.
Maybe I've got to talk to you after we switch.
Yeah. So
all right,
that was good, but the content, like it was super professional. I couldn't swear. And then this year I was like, honestly, fuck it. And I just, in one of my videos, I was like, just don't be a fat cunt. And I was like, I'm keeping that in.
Well, to be honest.
And that video got 10 times more views than it had, like.
Well, all I know is that I thought it was the worst word in the world for a while till I actually had an ex-girlfriend that said it a lot and I got kind of used to it. And then I went to Bathurst one time with some business guys and we sat on the mountain and every second word, these guys said, we're on the Bathurst mountain. Yeah. It's open slather. The word cunt.
Even like second word. Aussies, it's just not a
it was. They just smashed it out up on the hill up and down.
So it loses its like.
But I actually found that it's actually a real, for me anyway. It's been my 2022 and 23 word. It is smashing it hard. I'm using it everywhere,
and it can be good.
It is. It actually relieves.
You're a sick cunt. You're a mad cunt. They're good things.
Oh, you're a cunt. I get relief. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah. So it loses its. But I feel like when people, because I get people that comment, I had someone today at the gym who was like, oh, he's a brand manager or some shit. He was like, oh, you should make sure you stop saying that so that you can increase your brand. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. My brand is, like my company was called fucking Massive. Well, bloody, it wasn't called Kisses and Hugs.
Let me tell you, one of the biggest businessmen in the world, if someone said to you, Virgin.
Well, Gary V.
Yeah, Gary V, but Virgin.
And Richard Branson. He swears. Yeah. He's a pommy. He says cunt. Of course he does.
But that's what I mean. Like Richard Branson, if he turns around, these girls said to him in the beginning, because I was flying to Queensland and they were talking, he was doing a memoir before his flight with space. I thought, in case you die, you want to do a little memoir. And I listened to it and they said, he sat with some girls and they said, we're all virgins, and your business is like a virgin. He goes, I think I'll go with that.
Yeah.
So that's how we. I don't know if Richard Branson sues us now for me mentioning, but it is. I think it's true.
I'm never flying Virgin again.
Don't say that. Let's go.
I went to Bali. There were no TVs. 7-hour flight. It's deemed
TVs.
It's international, right?
Yeah.
Bali. Yeah. It might be short, but whatever. No TVs in the front seat. You could access movies on your phone using their Wi-Fi on the plane, which was cool. But we thought, like, we're in the airport for 3 hours. All of our phones are like 10%. And then they did no food. And we got the flight at like 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Wow, why is it so tough?
So no food, because they nearly went broke. Like they cut out international flights through COVID. They nearly had to pull the pin on the whole thing. So I imagine that's them trying to get their costs back.
I'll tell you what, it was a luxury, everything else before, remember? I mean, everything, you got served a lot of food and you got served stuff, but now I guess they just walk up and down the aisle and offer you instant coffee and a bottle of water.
Yeah, which tastes like that Balinese.
Shit
coffee.
Well, I'm still trying. I think they dropped the stash on the ground and they said, the cat, or the monkey, oh my God. And they followed the monkey around for 24 hours to get the coffee back.
Yeah,
what's your favourite diet?
One that works for you.
No, well, your favourite diet. Your favourite, what's your favourite food, diet?
Diet or food? Like, are we talking keto diet? What's my favourite food?
Yeah, well, favourite diet, like what? Like
I don't
my
want to be
favourite
a
diet
basic
is,
bitch.
I guess. Well, sorry, my favourite diet is I like cooking chicken in the oven, chicken breast in the oven, touch of olive oil.
Yeah,
and
do you track the olive oil?
Huh?
Do you track?
I got track nothing, mate. I don't track nothing. But the thing is,
calories.
Yeah, I know, but it's very good for you.
Yeah.
And usually boiled rice. That's
what I was going to say. I was going to say I don't want to be a basic bitch, but like
that's a basic
chicken
bitch.
And rice.
Chicken
just
and rice.
Because
I like chicken and rice.
you work out how to do it good. You can make it taste good. You can easily hit your calories and all that. But in terms of diet, like if someone's like, oh, what do I do? Keto, Mediterranean, vegan. Do what fucking works for you.
Okay. Is there one that you like more?
An actual like fad diet?
I like Mediterranean, but go on.
I mean, that's because it's pretty much what can't you eat with Mediterranean? Like it's not like keto where you can't eat carbs. It's not like like someone messaged me the other day.
But do you know that you can correct me again if you're wrong? But when I say Mediterranean,
it's just a healthy diet. It's just
it's very
it's a raw diet pretty much.
It's
all it's no processed foods, which is a good diet.
Yeah, it's a good diet.
Someone messaged me the other day like, "Hey man, how much should I be eating on carnivore diet?" And I was like, "Why the fuck are you doing carnivore diet?" He was like, "Oh, I heard Joe Rogan felt really good on it and lost 20 kilos." And I was like, "Look, he's an outlier. Most people that do like eat meat every meal with nothing else are going to feel like shit.
Oh yeah.
Don't pick a diet that works for you. Get my meal plan, and we'll create a diet with the foods that you like, the calories you need in order to lose weight." And he's lost like 4 kilos in 2 weeks.
Wow. And you mentioned something about a post about red meat. What's about red meat? You think it's a better pump? I think you said something.
Oh, that was Lee Priest. Not Lee Priest. Fuck that guy. Oh shit.
No, Lee Priest is good, man. Don't come on.
He's crazy, bro. That's all I mean. Who goes and gets the Tyson? He's a crazy motherfucker.
He's a crazy motherfucker. But you know what? He's actually really funny. I'm actually communicating.
He seems funny,
he's hilarious.
But like he seems like an absolute crazy cunt.
Well, you know what? I think he's similar to you. That you're comfortable with who you are.
Fair.
Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with who I am. Fuck everyone.
Yeah.
And he's comfortable. And I bet you any money if we sat the three of us in a room, we'd get on.
Yeah.
Because we all like to be ourselves. So I think that's what's most important.
I'd end up with a face tat. I'd be like,
you probably would. We all would. You'd all convince us.
Who was that? Jay Cutler said that like when you have a steak a day, like you're
what it
fuller.
was.
You're fuller, which I 100%, like,
is it true?
You have a steak for dinner, you wake up, like, you're just fuller.
I tell you what, but rump steak, mate, that's the worst thing I ever tried. I thought it because it was cheap, I'd get it. You
got to cook it right. That's you. Never get it at a restaurant, but like I hate paying for steaks now.
Expensive, I know.
One, like you go to a good restaurant, $70, $100 for a good steak. I got the IGA near my house. I don't know why the fuck they do it, but 300 gram porterhouses, like $4 to $5.
No way.
$4 to to 5.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
45.
My daughter works there.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Get a
going on,
shoplift.
but like every week I'll go there, load up on them, and then you
I don't
do
condone shoplifting. by the way.
you do the garlic steak seasoning, flip it over, and do. It's not Mediterranean.
All right, we're gonna. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna
We're
do cooking.
cooking
We're cooking
video
one
on
time.
this
Me,
steak,
we're gonna
but
do
like
cooking.
I figured out how to make a good steak.
I'm gonna-
The best steak
All right, you do.
So I hate
you
paying
do the
for
best steak, and I'll show you how I cook chicken in the oven.
whilst tracking the oil.
Don't worry about the olive oil.
No,
mate.
that's
I'm just gonna
another- that's a
I'm gonna
third
make- I'm
video.
gonna do homemade bread for you, so you can dip it into the oil and eat away. But anyway, that's another story. You'll probably be bloated by the end of it.
It's weird how, like, you don't eat. My missus pointed this out. No one, like, you don't get home and you're like, I'm going to have some oil and bread. You go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, this fancy shit. Like, who's eating bread and oil at home? But you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, yeah.
Watch out when you
So
go to Greek,
weird,
watch out when
bro.
you go to Greek restaurants. I always tell people they're going to give you dip and bread. Don't touch it that much because you're not going to eat the rest of the food. You're going to smash that up and you're going to be already full before the
I'll be getting that in.
So best, what's you reckon the best protein? Chicken? Chicken's the best protein?
Probably because it's so, like, one, it's not diverse, but, like, you can do a lot with it. Not controversial. Starts with a C, kind of like diverse. So,
Controversial.
not controversial. Chickens. Convenient, kind of. Like, you can do a lot with it. I don't know what the word is. Someone that's listening
you can cook it.
knows the word I'm thinking of.
All right, someone will
But
type it in.
It's low, like,
Posts.
yeah, you can make it taste like whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, no,
It hasn't got the calories of steak, so, like, it's better. It's good for fat loss. It's good for muscle gain.
All right, what's a good fat? And it's carbohydrate evil.
No.
What's a good fat?
Carbs have gotten the bad rap because when you drop your carbs, you drop your water.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, I lost 4 kilos in a week. It's like, no, you didn't. You lost like 3.8 kilos of fluid that was being held on by carbohydrates.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as they start eating carbs, then they're going to be like, oh, I put it all back on, but you're just holding, like, you've got glycogen in your muscles again. Bodybuilders before a show will drop their carbs, deplete their muscles full of glycogen, and then before the show they pump up and have a lot of carbs, and you feel like, as a bodybuilder, you know what being flat feels like. Like, it's just you don't have a good pump. So yeah, carbs, not bad. Majority of, like, I'll just say everyone, like, uses carbs as energy.
Yeah.
Carbs is glucose is energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're keto, which most of the fucking people butcher that anyway.
All right, so let's say
Good fat?
What's a good carb? Pasta, rice,
something
bread.
simple, rice.
Rice. Okay, rice.
Rice.
And a good fat?
Like a healthy fat
healthy fat,
that's
yeah,
got
of
like
course. Oh, we're not talking about Mars bars.
omegas and shit.
Yeah, good fat, like avocado.
Omegas. Yeah. Nuts, avocado.
Yeah.
But then even that, people like eat nuts thinking, oh, it's healthy. It says on the pack, good source of protein. But like fats have 9 calories per gram.
Yeah.
Carbs and protein have 4 calories per gram. So it's literally double.
You've got to do a post or a YouTube. I need to see you writing everything down. This is, I'm telling you, I'm not good at the numbers. I mean, I'm not good at knowing all this, but listening to you give me the numbers. What about salts? Any good salts out there? Sugars?
Pink Himalayan.
Himalayan's good?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the Saksa salt, mate? The iodized Saksa.
The table salt. I don't know.
That's how I grew up. I heard it's very good for you, but that's another story.
Yeah, it might be. I know, like, a lot of people, including myself, sometimes will put like salt in their pre-workout because you get a good pump. But
what about raw sugar or brown sugar, white sugar? What's
I think, like, people are going to come at me for this, but like white sugar's obviously been bleached and more processed.
Yeah, that's right. Let them come at you. They're going to come at you anyway.
Yeah. So you'd go raw ideally, but I mean, but if you have to mix in like 20 grams of sugar, like, it's not going to fucking kill you to have white sugar versus raw sugar. You know, like, it's at the end of the day, it's fucking sugar. It's getting processed by your body as a sugar.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's fucking bleached. Like, you probably have eaten worse.
No, I'm with
That
you,
day, in the last 10 minutes.
So, all right.
That's another thing, bro. Like, people stop at Macca's on their way home and then they come at me for being like, oh, you eat white bread? I'm like, bro, you had a double Big Mac yesterday. Fuck you.
What was that? Yeah, you like the thick raisin toast too.
Oh, thick raisin toast is my boy.
Is your boy?
It's my boy.
God.
Yeah, it's just dense, man. It's dense. You have like 2 slices of that, it's like 600 calories.
See, but I don't know because I eat that and my brain says 3,000 calories for some reason. That's why I don't understand all this.
Right.
I will eat it and I'm already...
Have you ever got My Fitness Pal?
No.
You scan the barcode and it'll tell you everything.
Oh, mate, I've just discovered you, man. So come on, Leo. I've just been following you now recently, you know. Became a fan. I saw you at World Gym. I thought I saw a celebrity. Yeah. And then I realised you're not. But anyway, that's the story.
One day.
All right, so how do you... this is going to be two questions. What is the calorie amount for an average person, you think? What should... a person that beginner
what's
training...
an average person?
Well, let's look at somebody...
What's the average person's goal?
All right, let's say now
there is no blank statement answer.
Yeah, but if to be healthy,
how
many calories do you think?
If you go to www.apexcoaching.com.au/calorie calculator, you can calculate your calories.
How do you calculate it? That's a good one, mate.
It's some fucking formula, but it's just
Is it your weight?
Yeah. So you enter in your age, your height, your weight, activity level, and then your goal, and it will calculate. But it's a formula that, you know, if we want to get technical,
1.1 million people will be looking at this now. So
7 million.
Or 7 million.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Is that just Sydney itself?
Yeah.
All right. So,
but if someone sees me eating 7,000 calories and they're like, I want to be that big. If you start eating 7,000 calories and you're not meant to have 7,000 calories, like, you're just going to be a fat cunt. It won't take long either. 7,000 is a lot.
But let's just say the kid's just entering the gym. He's just
3,000.
3,000. That's
3,000.
Got a number out of him.
Yeah.
3,000 calories. That's good.
3,000 is good if you're
3,000 calories.
Just starting, unless you're a massive build and like you're Maori like 6'7", then that's probably not going to be enough. Hit the link in the bio.
That's true. We're going to have it in the bio.
Yeah,
this bio.
Get your calculator. You can also, that's linked to a meal plan if you want to calculate that and buy yourself a meal plan. You know, it's all there.
I tell you what, I've loved this. We're going to have to do a cooking thing together because
sweet.
I love it. Well, maybe I'll make something Mediterranean and you can make something boring Australian one. I was married to an Australian woman anyway. It's good.
That's fair.
Yeah, microwave meals always been good. No, she actually cooked. She actually say something funny about Greeks quickly. Like, if I introduced you, I said, "This is Ryan," and they go,
she'd make a meal for me.
We'll get I was talking if I took you to a party, anyone. They go. If I said, they said, "Oh, what's Ryan like?" Or I won't say my ex's name. They said, "What's she like?" And they say, "She eats." Yeah, she eats. We love her. Oh. So if you eat, they'd love you. They'd embrace you. He eats. And he eats Greek food. And they go, like, "Oh my God, yeah." Okay, look, you know what? Let's get into training, right? Let's get into the training part now. What I want to do with you and what predominantly Muscle Talks is going to be about is we're going to go through the whole body. You can say you train them and you don't train them. That's okay. Like, you don't have to make up stuff. And you can add to it if you like. Like, if you're telling me there's an upper part and a lower part or a side part, front part, whatever it is. But I'm going to throw you parts of the body. I just need to know one exercise.
Yeah.
Reps and sets.
What's the goal? Muscle? Building muscle?
Well, building muscle.
Yeah.
It's all about building muscle. We'll say it's about having a bicep, right? So a good-looking bicep, something that is defined, growth. We're not talking about diet. We're just talking about the exercise that you think gets you a good pump. And I also want to know, tell me a little bit about rest days on that. When would you revisit it? Okay, probably everything's the same. But anyway, we're going to start off with the famous traps.
I don't train them a lot.
Okay.
The first time I trained them in a long time, it was the last workout video I posted, which was a little while ago now. And someone was like, "Oh man, show me your shoulder and trap workout." So I was like, "I'll film it." And I was like, I don't train trap. Because if you're doing heavy weights with anything anyways, your traps are going to get hit.
Okay.
But if you specifically want to, dumbbell shrugs, heavy fucking dumbbell shrugs, but sit on a bench and sort of lean over it. Mm-hmm. Like, as opposed to standing and just shrugging up, you like lean over and go up and back, and it hits it way better.
Is there upper lower traps or just pretty much traps?
Then it kind of crosses into like your middle back and rhomboids and shit.
All right, how many reps if they were going to do that, even though you don't do anything?
Well, 8 to 12 is going to be your blanket answer for
8 to 12, right? Okay, heavy and sets.
For traps, like 4 or 5, I guess.
Wow, okay, no, that's good. We'll go with that. Shoulders now. Rear delts. One exercise sets.
Face pull. Oh, no, single arm cable
Yeah.
flies.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get
Okay.
a good fucking feel.
How many reps?
Probably start light, so you can actually, you don't just want to jump in heavy with those, or with any exercise. Like I typically go, say 4 or 5, we'll say 4 sets.
4 sets, yeah.
One warming up, so like 12 to 15 reps, a bit lighter, and then heavier.
Okay.
And that'll be either 8 to 12, or it could be like fucking 5 to 8.
Front delts.
That's something I need to train more of.
I got to try more rear delts, but that's what I'm trying to do at the moment.
It really makes it. Rear delts are like your triceps for your arms.
I'm just stuck on wanting to build them up hard because I feel like chest does a lot on the front delts anyway, kind of thing. That's my.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I don't really hit them because we've got this machine at World Gym that's like a super incline, but it's so inclined that you're actually hitting your upper chest and your front delt. But anything like any pressing is really going to be smashing that.
How many sets, reps?
Same thing, like 4 or 5 sets.
Reps?
Starting light, building weight.
15?
Starting light, 12 to 15, and then slowly building more weight, and then for a working set, like.
Do you see a side delt on? Would you specify that, or you just back and front, or you got a side?
You got to do the sides.
Yeah. What do you do with the sides?
If you're a mad cunt, 10 sets of 10 with a 10-second rest using 10 kilos.
10 sets of 10. Oh, yeah, this is going to hit.
10 sets of 10 reps, 10 kilo dumbbells. If that's too heavy, like go like 7.5, but like, and then 10 seconds rest in between. So like the first 10, you're like, oh, easy.
Yeah, I was going to say
easy. Oh, easy. And then like third, fourth, fifth set, you're like,
I'm already feeling it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, shit.
10.
And I got half.
10 second
and
rest.
I got 10 more to go, like 5 more sets to go. And then the last, like you're like heaving it. But like anyone that comes and does a shoulder workout, I get them to do that, and they're like, "You're fucked."
Oh no, I like it.
Yeah,
okay, so let's go to chest. Let's go your upper chest. One exercise.
Seated, so wide cables, not the little standalone one that's more narrow. Wide. Set them to the lower setting, and then seated like straight, the seat fucking straight up, and then put it a little bit in front. And then like pulling from low to high.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Wow. How many set?
4 or 5
reps.
Same. Start light, build up.
How many? You got to give us numbers. They want numbers. Like me, I like numbers.
8 to 12 reps.
8 to 12 reps. All right. And what about lower chest or outer chest? What do you do for that?
Just dumbbell press, or like at World Gym we've got really specific. Like we've hands down got the best equipment
Looks
in
pretty
Australia.
Good. Yeah, good rate.
Like all the Panada stuff is phenomenal. There's one machine that like you're here but you're pressing, so it's very much like.
Is that your middle chest?
Yeah, it's like middle, like where you build the cleavage.
Yeah. Because a lot of people
lower.
We've had a few people arguing there's no such thing as a middle chest, but.
I feel like you can definitely fucking feel
I think
it,
I've actually lack in that area, and I've got to work it. I think sometimes things are great, but that centre bit where, when you see that pose, they've got to be working that middle pec like crazy.
Yeah, I think if you can feel it, you can target it.
So
like that's I think, like, old mate said that in a lot of videos.
Yeah, no, John already did. He said about feeling it.
If you feel it, like when I'm doing leg extensions, I'm trying to squeeze up here.
No. Oh, he's right.
And like back, like close your fucking eyes. Feel it.
Well, it changes everything, and you forget. Look, I've been training. I'm 54, but I've been training since 18 to now, on and off. Sometimes taking a year off. But the one thing I must say, I always forget to feel it. I forget to get in there.
Well, you've got to get in. You rush to it. I always have done too much volume, and now I've just gone right. We're talking about at the gym, and instead of doing like 20 sets for chest, you do 12 sets. That's all you need to grow muscle. But so say 3 exercises, 4 sets, and actually fucking train.
Okay.
Don't just work out to work out, but like actually train. Feel it, take it to failure. 2 warm-up sets, 2 proper fucking working sets. Mm-hmm. I've been doing that this week and I'm cooked.
Well, I'll tell you, firstly, in my 20s, when we used to train,
Yeah.
we drove kilometres to go to a gym. We actually drove 7Ks away or even further. Like
Were you in fucking Tamworth?
no. We'd go from, I don't know if you know Sydney that well, but I'd go from Belmore. I have to drive to Marrickville. I don't know how many
Right.
Ks is that, 5K, 6K?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
5K from there to Marrickville to train, right?
Yeah.
But the thing was, when we trained, the whole training session was failure.
Yeah.
And you always...
Which you can
and
do
you-
it.
no,
You can
and
do
the
that
whole-
in your 20s.
But the whole gym was failure, and you had to be spotting people, and they had to spot you. There was no, you didn't go in there not
really?
spots. It was all spotting. Would you spot me,
Yeah.
mate? You spot me, mate. I'll spot you, mate. You spot me, mate. Like it was just constant spotting going on.
Yeah. I just want to make sure people have seen this hoodie because I'm taking it off because it's hot.
Yeah. What is the hoodie? Tell you, might as well give it another wrap.
I got a shirt. It's all right.
That's a good shirt. Yeah, good shirt.
She's oversized.
Yeah, nice.
For the bodybuilders out there. Bodybuilding basics coming soon.
Yeah. Muscle Talk as well, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
And 3OG. So, are you saying 12 reps? 12
8 to 12,
reps,
yeah.
about 3 sets, yeah? Around that chest area,
yeah,
lower
yeah.
chest. You're saying you said dumbbells, the press in the center,
For the that middle sort of cleavage
and outer?
bit.
Outer?
I mean, I feel like they're going to be the same.
Same?
Yeah, you wouldn't break it up into 4. I'd just go like chest, and then I'll target upper chest because I lack upper chest. But if you lack lower chest and that sort of like not droopiness, but like that drop in the chest, you'd target lower chest just by changing
The angle.
the angle on the bench. But yeah, you wouldn't get too crazy with it.
All right, triceps.
We've got a hectic machine. The Panada, what is it? It's a super French press machine. So it's like dumbbell, it's like skull crushers with
Yep.
an easy bar, but it's a machine.
Yeah.
So you just fucking go it. And I was saying to someone today, like it literally feels like it's doing hypertrophy to your tendons. Like you just know, like it's like targeting like this. That's you can't grow, but once you do, like she's thick.
How many sets? One exercise.
4 or 5
Reps?
Start light, 12 to 15.
12 to 15.
Add weight as you go. Yeah.
Bicep?
You want one that's fucking heavy.
Bicep?
Fucking spider curls.
No,
Yeah.
mate, John, he loves spider
They're
curls too.
so
But how many?
good.
But how many?
Not
50?
57. Not 57.
I've done it though. It works.
I
Tried
can
it.
imagine.
No, you're screaming like a
But
girl by the end
57
of it.
reps.
50 reps. 50 reps.
Lightweight.
Light.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
What do you do though? How many reps?
A bit lighter weight, like 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And then
Sets?
And then add weight.
Okay, how many
Build
sets?
to like 8 to 12, 4 or 5.
Wow, so different to what I would do. No, I'm just saying I'm a 3 sets of 10 kind of guy before. Now I'm changing it so much. I'll be saving this podcast myself and training with it.
So they 12 to 16 reps per week is where like that's the sort of volume you need to be growing. That's like where the study's at the moment.
12 to
16.
right. Okay.
So like working, so you can split that up. You can do 3 sets of 4, 3 different exercises with 4 sets, say for chest. Or if you do 2 chest days, you could break that up into like literally 2 exercises, 4 sets, and then do it again on a later date that week. And it's going to be like total volume, and then just make sure that you're following progressive overload each week, and you're going to be growing.
Amazing. Do you train forearms? What about forearms?
No.
Okay.
But they're not bad.
Not bad. They look like a big forearm there, but
Yeah.
But do you train them at all?
It's kind
ever?
of like traps. Like if you're holding something.
I was going to say that's why I was putting there.
Yeah. No, but if you were, there's where you hold the dumbbell and do these.
Yeah. There's
Like
also,
I know a lot of like 15, 16-year-olds are like, like I've never jacked off. Like I've got no forearms. What do I do? And I'm like, do these ones, but just lift heavy, grip shit, and it'll grow.
Yeah. What about back? Upper back?
Seated rows.
Seated rows. All right. How many
Yeah.
sets?
Yeah, or like a landmine row. Anything where you like just pulling can actually squeeze
A landmine.
your middle back. Like a T-bar row or a landmine
T-bar row.
row.
Yeah. And what? How many reps?
Same thing. My reps aren't changing.
That's okay.
57.
Yeah.
No, not 57. 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
8 to 12. Yeah.
We're going to go 300.
That's like they say like, 1 to 5 is strength, 8 to 12 for muscle gain, and then plus 15 reps for toning. But that's bullshit. There's no high reps for toning. That's not a fucking thing.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Mate, I tell you what, there's a lot of, back then we were 3 sets of 10, but heavy. Like I said, we blew ourselves out.
Well, if you're doing
Everything
3
was-
sets, that's the
everything
thing.
was
You could
blowout.
do 2 working sets.
Everything was blowout.
Yeah, you could do 2, but go to failure on both of them. You're gonna fucking grow.
Everything was failure. I'm
Yeah.
talking about and you know what the funniest
Yeah.
was? And not only was everything was failure, we all wore tracksuits during summer. You didn't. The only time you saw each other's body, we'd all go in the bathroom and everyone would be stripping down to show each other how well we've done, and then everyone would be back in the gym with
Yeah.
fucking
That's funny.
Target and Kmart tracksuits. You know what I mean? Dunlop shoes.
Yeah,
It
it's
was-
definitely changed. There's definitely more skin these days.
yeah. No, we only had small mirrors, right? But on honestly, we had all this oversized stuff. That's how we dressed.
Yeah.
And you
I
sweated
like the
your
oversized
ass.
shit.
Yeah.
That's-
No, very nice clothing. What about lower back?
Deads. Deads are always good. Yeah.
And
Or rack pulls.
how many?
Rack pulls. How many?
How many sets, reps?
4 to 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps.
Okay,
Slowly build up the weight.
Because people are going to ask, you didn't answer that one, and I've got to keep the numbers up.
Yeah.
All right, let's just quickly go before we get down to the legs. Abs, the obliques. What do you-
Oh, abs. So when people train abs, if you want to grow your arms, you're not going to pick up. You're not just going to do this,
Yeah.
right? You add weight.
Yes, of course.
5 kilos eventually becomes
here
too
we go.
light, so
Yeah,
you
okay.
add 10 kilos.
I don't put any weight.
Progressive
You're right to say
overload.
weights,
You
yeah.
slowly
Yeah,
start to
got it.
build more weight. That's why you're building muscle, because your muscles are lifting new weight.
Yeah.
They're getting damaged and they need to grow bigger in order to keep up with the stimulus. That's fucking building muscle
Yeah.
at the cellular level. So training abs, doing crunches, it might burn, but you're not going to build them. You might build them a little bit, but it's like training at home and trying to be a bodybuilder. Like eventually you're going to run out of fucking pull-ups and push-ups to do, and you need to lift weight. So that's why there's ab machines where you can add weight.
Yeah.
So do your crunches and shit to get started, but the best is, so you're on your knees, you got a cable,
Oh, yeah.
rope on the cable,
Yeah.
and then
Crunches.
crunches.
Oh, yeah. How many of those?
Weighted cable crunches. And
Sets,
then
reps.
3, 4, and then I don't know, reps until you can't anymore.
Okay.
Or until it burns, then you start counting.
Okay. And obliques? Do you train obliques or I don't do much obliques?
Nah. Just because I used to do the one where you hold the dumbbell and side crunch, but someone once said it ruins your waist taper, which who the fuck knows? I haven't actually read a study on that, but I just stopped. But I naturally have obliques and everything.
What about the gluteus maximus for the girls, just in case? Maybe me.
Bro, my ass is popping.
Your ass is popping.
My ass is popping. Yeah.
What is it? Usually,
I'm 16th Armenian and I have a Kardashian booty.
yeah. Well, that says it.
But that's just from training heavy.
Even Greeks.
Yeah, you've got the fucking tush, huh?
We got the tush.
Yeah.
So.
Me and my cousin's a bodybuilder and bro, our fucking ass is it's ridiculous.
All right, but let's give someone an ass workout that doesn't have one. Like the Aussies.
If I needed to grow one, take that back.
All right, then. Take it.
Probably,
A little bit.
I don't even know what to call them because I don't do them, but the one where you got the bar and you just hip thrust.
Oh, hip thrust.
Barbell hip thrust.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the hip
And
thrust.
just fucking build up weight.
How many-
RDLs,
We're picking one.
Romanian
whatever.
deadlifts, and squats.
All right, there's a lot of.
There's a
things
whole
for the
fucking
asses.
workout.
But how many reps?
5 sets
5 sets.
of those 3 exercises. That's 15 reps. You got a whole ass workout today. You're welcome.
Wow. Okay.
And
you don't have to. You don't have to
slowly
go to.
build up
You
the
don't have
weight.
to go to. You don't have to be Armenian or Greek to have that. So there you go. It was a gift.
Yeah.
All right, quads.
Squat press is cool. We got a machine that's good.
There's some crazy machines out there, though. Let me tell you.
Well, yeah, our gym's full on. I mean, leg extensions. You can't beat a fucking leg extension.
No, leg extension. How many sets?
4 or 5.
Reps?
8 to 12.
Okay, 8 to 12.
And then like drop set the last one.
Okay.
And then drop set again. Like what happened today.
Hammies?
Stiff-legged deadlifts.
Right, okay. Stiff.
Or with like either with barbell, a Smith machine, or dumbbells.
Deadlift.
Stiff leg deadlift.
Stiff leg. How many sets?
So you keep your knees
Reps?
not fully locked, just a little bit out, but you stretch down and you're stretching. Or hamstring curls. 4 or 5 sets, 8 to 12 reps.
The calves?
What the fuck is a tibialis?
No. Tibialis.
Oh,
Don't read my notes, mate. Right, it's Grillish.
what's the tabuli?
It's the Greek. It's half Greek, half English, buddy. Hey, you know I couldn't speak English till I went to kindergarten, all right? So
Really?
Yeah, because my
I couldn't
parents...
speak English until I went to kindergarten, so
Well, there you go.
me neither.
Is it because your parents spoke Armenian to you at home?
No, I just didn't speak.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's another
Yeah, I
story.
was taken to a fucking speech therapist because my older sister would speak for me, and then my parents took me to a speech therapist, and they're like, "And what's your name, little boy?" And my sister was like, "His name's Ryan," and she's like, "I see what the fucking issue is. He's smart. Why speak if you don't have to?"
That is smart.
And then like, oh, bro, as a kid, like, I was speaking to my mum about this the other day. I wouldn't speak, and then I'd finally speak, and I'd be like, "Yeah, g'day." Like I had the deepest voice. It was fucking weird. Just came out anabolic.
That's so funny, but don't read my notes, mate.
No, sorry.
Calves and the tibialis, mate. I was going to say the tibia, but I want it to be a bit technical. Tibialis.
Is this your
the front? That's the tibialis,
right?
mate.
Well,
Well, you hit me with something I didn't even know. So yeah, the tibialis.
Donkey calf raises.
Donkey calf raises. Yeah, how many
Donkey,
sets, reps?
The reason why the donkey calf
Yeah, please.
raise
Yeah.
is it loads your back up just from here, as opposed to, I mean, seated calf raise, I spent, like where the pad's here, I feel like half the time you're fucking slipping off, so you got to readjust your feet, slipping off. Standing calf raises loads up your spine, so once you start going heavy, like you get off standing calf raises and your back's sore. So the donkey calf raise.
Do you know a lot of gyms
locks
didn't
you
bring
up.
the donkey calf press
No, I
back?
know.
So
Right,
that's what I'm
I've
saying. That's
never
what
seen
World
one. No.
Gyms brought it back.
Yeah, we got one.
Because when I trained in the...
Because that's what Arnold swore by.
Yeah, well, in the 90s, when we trained,
You get someone hopping on your back.
it was always donkey press everywhere. We had donkey presses everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
So
and then
that-
it's gone. You don't find donkey press anywhere anymore.
So it's because it's fucking cars. Why does anybody need to spend $6,000 on a
It's
machine?
a top machine, man.
It is. So
How many
donkey
sets?
calf
How many
raises.
sets, reps?
I mean, you know how I said 12? So 12 to 16 reps sort of per week in order to actually be building muscle. So people are like, why aren't my calves growing? And it's like, because you only did 5 sets on your leg day. So over the whole week, you've only done 5 sets, but you need 12, say 10 to 12 for your calves to actually fucking be building. So I've always found the best sort of growth in my calves, which I haven't been focusing on them lately, but like every 2 or 3 days you do 5 sets.
Okay, so
So
that's a different
over
rest
the
period.
week you're doing fucking
Who has the longest rest period? Which muscle part has the longest rest?
legs or back, just because they're big.
And the one you revisit, you said calves and what else?
So calves can handle the load because you're like constantly walking, like they're kind of getting a bit of stimulus every day, but like unless you when you first train calves and you can't walk for 4 days,
Yeah.
So I feel like if you do 5 sets of calves every day, one day lightweight, high reps, the other day is low weight, high weight, low reps.
Give us a number
So
for the high
switch it
reps.
up.
Give us a number high reps.
20 plus,
20 plus. And low is?
8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yeah.
And do you train the tabulis?
The bullies? No. I feel like it's a muscle that, unless you're like a very particular bodybuilder that's like literally like, someone's like, you were going to win the Olympia, but he had better tibialis.
Yeah.
But there is that machine where you like lock in and fucking, it's just, you're doing these ones.
I'm doing it now.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Well, look, we covered the whole body.
Good.
I really appreciate it. Okay,
Good.
we're finishing up now. Now, just tell us where all the viewers can find you on socials, website, location, personal training. Give us it all.
So if you want face-to-face personal training, I'm at World Gym Moore Park. If you want online coaching, it's apexcoaching.com.au, but just go on my Instagram. My Instagram and TikTok are both Ryan Bennett Coaching, and there's a ton of content. I try and do like continuously a video a day, if not 2 a day. And that's all on like nutrition. At this point, I'm just honing in on nutrition.
I like it.
There's the ebook that you can buy that'll teach you how to calculate your calories, how to figure out your macros, and then 30 different actual meal ideas with the full recipe. And you literally take the calories that you've calculated, pick a few meals, and you build out your own meal plan. So that's the starting point because it's cheap. So start there, and then if you get a meal plan, if you do coaching, whatever. So yeah, that's Insta, TikTok. If you do want face-to-face, do face-to-face, but online's kind of better value anyway because I write up all of your training, all of your nutrition. We do weekly check-ins. I've got the app for the training. You can go pay a PT $100 an hour, or you can do online coaching for $100 a week.
Yeah.
And you're going to get better results online because I can actually manage your nutrition. Whereas a face-to-face PT can't actually legally write you a meal plan.
Right.
So I've always told people, like, you can go see a PT 4 times a week at $100 an hour, paying $400, but eat like shit because they can't write you a meal plan, or you do online coaching for $100 a week. You got 5 workouts so I can literally write up myself and see, and you can track it all and everything. You get a custom meal plan, make adjustments, and then...
And that's on, where do they find that?
That's, just message me on Instagram.
Instagram is?
Ryan Bennett Coaching.
Coaching.
Yeah.
TikTok?
Also Ryan Bennett Coaching.
YouTube?
I'm not focused on it.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
You need to talk to Chris about that. He reckons you should be on everything.
Yeah. I've got a few old videos of me training, like proper like vlogs, and we go and work out when I was on the Northern Beaches, but yeah, haven't done it.
And your website?
Is apexcoaching.com.au.
And you said you got your
Yeah, so if you click the link in my bio, it'll show, like, there'll be the link for the online coaching, the link for the meal plans, link for the ebook, or just www.apexcoaching.com.au/apply, and that'll take you straight to coaching.
Right. Well,
and then I got this in the works.
Yeah. What's that? Tell us about the t-shirt.
So it's literally like bodybuilding clothes for bodybuilders, made by bodybuilders. So. Yeah. It's all oversized. Like this is just a prototype. So the material is going to be different. It's going to be a little bit bigger, and it's just basics. I figured that like basics are in at the moment. Like
definitely, I think it's really good.
Cotton on basics,
pretty good logo,
bonds basics. So yeah, it's bodybuilding basics.
Look good on a cap too. Look good on a lot of
stuff. I want to get it. Yeah. So there's the hoodie, the oversized shirt. So they're more like pump covers, and you take it off. You got the bodybuilding basics. Tank top underneath.
I love it.
So that's coming soon.
Well, I want to say thanks.
That's all right.
It's been awesome. Thank you for being our first on.
Muscle Talks. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for listening. Please follow us on. Please follow us, Muscle Talks, and 3OG. On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. Please all hit the subscribe button, located somewhere inside the socials. And because we're also going to be launching our own protein powder very soon, and we're going to do quite an amazing special for all our subscribers. So on that note...
What's the protein powder going to be branded, sorry? Is that going to be a 3G?
3OG or 30G, and predominantly it's 30 grams of protein.
Yeah, I like
that. And Chris, what else is Chris? Throw me some of the stuff that it's lactose
lactose free.
It's not lactose free, but it's lactose reduced.
Lactose reduced. All right, good looking.
Yeah. So it doesn't cause
gut friendly. Yeah.
Gut friendly. What else? Grass fed.
Grass fed. Yeah.
A few other good pieces to it.
Where the cows come from?
Do we need to find out where the cows come from too?
Is it from is the protein powder from like Australia and New Zealand or America?
That's a very good question. We'll you know what? Watch this space.
Because it's a selling point. It doesn't matter if it's from America, but where would you rather drink milk from?
Australia.
Australia or New Zealand cattle.
Okay, New Zealand cattle.
So, because protein comes from milk.
Well, let me tell you,
So, yeah.
we still haven't finished it exactly on that information. God, you should be all excited because we've got the food critic right here. So again, guys, thank you so much. Look forward for you to be following us and see you next time.
We'll see you guys around.